Hello everyone, welcome to this video lecture. At the end of the lecture, you will be able to learn induced EMF, Fleming's right hand rule, Fleming's left hand rule. So, so why we need to study about these things, induced EMF, Fleming's right hand rule, Fleming's left hand rule. So first of all, we should know about DC machine. DC machine can be operated as a generator or a motor. DC machine acts as a DC generator. So simply DC generator converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. This energy conversion is based on the principle of production of a dynamically induced EMF by Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Induced EMF, we can produce the EMF by dynamic or static conductors. The field remains stationary, and the conductor by its motion cuts the field and an EMF is produced. This is known as dynamically or motionally induced EMF. So this is the principle used in generator, DC generator. So where the field is stationary. So in the figure you can see here the field is stationary. So we are having here two poles, north pole and south pole. So field is stationary. The conductor is simply rotating here. So this is a simple loop generator where we are having here two conductors. So when this mechanical energy, so if you are rotating this simple loop in the magnetic field, so the conductor cuts magnetic flux lines, hence an EMF is induced in the conductors. So this EMF is known as a dynamically or motionally induced EMF. The other type of EMF is statically induced EMF. So this EMF arises when the conductor remains stationary and the flux linked with the stationary conductor changes by the very nature of the input alternating quantity. So this is the EMF generated in the transformer. So there conductor is stationary, but the flux linking with the conductor is varying. So as you know already, the transformer works on alternating current. Alternating current means the current is keeps on changing. Whenever current is changing, field also changing. It is a time varying flux. So whenever time varying flux linking with a stationary conductor, an EMF induced in the conductor, so that EMF is known as statically induced EMF. So statically induced EMFs also are of two types. One is self-induced EMF, other one is mutually induced EMF. The self-induced EMF is the self-induced EMF is EMF induced in a coil due to changes of its own flux linked with is known as self-induced EMF. The EMF induced in one coil due to the change in flux of another coil linked with it is known as mutually induced EMF. So in a transformer, we are having a two windings. So there we can we can having just two types of EMFs: is self-induced EMF and mutually induced EMF. So Fleming's right hand rule. This rule shows the direction of induced current flow when a conductor moves in a magnetic field. In DC generator, so just mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. That is when you're rotating conductor in a magnetic field. So there we're having a magnetic field and a direction of rotation of a conductor. Hence, an EMF induced in the conductor, the direction of induced EMF or induced current can be determined by Fleming's right hand rule. So this rule is when you place the right hand is held with the thumb, first finger and second finger mutually at right angles as shown in figure. The thumb represents a direction of motion of conductor. The first finger represents the direction of the field and the second finger represents the direction of induced current. Figure shows a simple loop generator. In this here rectangular coil which has two conductors, and here the rotation of the coil is in anticlockwise direction. That is two conductors, conductor AB, conductor CD. So when the coil moves in anticlockwise direction, conductor CD moves in upward direction, conductor AB moves downward direction, and the field direction is here, the magnetic flux lines from north pole to south pole. So by using Fleming's right hand rule, so we can determine the direction of induced EMF or induced current in the conductors. So as per Fleming's right hand rule, in conductor AB, so current flows from B to A. In conductor CD, current flows from D to C. So galvanometer is connected to this rectangular coil. So through commutator and slip rings. So commutator and the slip rings we will discuss in the coming slides. So these carbon brushes collect the current from the commutator. So the current flows through galvanometer, which is connected externally. So current flows from here, plus sign to minus sign. So hence we can determine here the direction of induced EMF by Fleming's right hand rule. So Fleming's left hand rule, which is for motors, which gives the direction of force on the conductor. As you know, the motor principle, whenever a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force. So the direction of force is determined by Fleming's left hand rule. So same as Fleming's right hand rule, in Fleming's left hand rule also, so we need to place the thumb, first finger and second finger uh, mutually perpendicular. First finger represents the direction of the field, the second finger represents the direction of the current, and the thumb represents the direction of the thrust or resultant motion, that is the direction of force on the conductor. So this is the Fleming's left hand rule. This is applicable for DC motors. Okay, by using this rule we can determine the direction of motion of conductor, so in DC motor. Figure shows a wire is placed under the influence of magnetic field. So there you can see here permanent magnet. A wire is placed in the permanent magnet. That wire carrying a current here. So the current direction also indicated here. So the wire is connected to a high current power supply or battery. So by using Fleming's left hand rule, we can determine the force or thrust on this wire or conductor. So if we are using a Fleming's left hand rule, so the force acts in the upward direction. So the force on the conductor is in the upward direction, hence the wire moves in upward direction. So with this, I am concluding this lecture. Thank you.